Good day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world when you check in. Positive affirmations as per usual. This is Valerie M, aka Maxfield, standing in my truth. And today's segment is I started where I'm having a massive conversation with a colleague who joined me today, Miss Sherman. And there is some explicit languages, so please bear with us in this particular podcast today. But it was quite enlightening. We got into our feelings, very much into our feelings. But this is what it's all about, standing in our truth. Enjoy. Any feedback, let us know. If you found that you were happy, also let us know. Here we go, standing in my truth. When things come to you, that's when it was meant to be presented to you. Yeah. As you just said, looking through life with different lenses, it's a transition. It's a transition that no one thinks of the word transition, to be fair. I think sometimes, spiritual people will talk about transition as when someone dies, his body transitioned and blah, blah, blah. But a transition is when you make different movements within your life. When you turn around and you say to yourself, I used to do that. How can I change my thought process? Because that process that I'm going through right now just doesn't work for me. It really doesn't work for me. And I've done it once and I still got bitten. I've done it twice and it really whooped my ass. I cannot do it the third time. What am I doing that is so different that's not making me understand? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's staying on the hamster wheel, isn't it? It's like doing the same thing and the same things keep happening. But until, I thought of this years ago, until you make certain changes, them same things are going to still happen, but they're going to happen harsher.
Yes.
It's like you're supposed to be learning a lesson out of something and it's something you're not doing.
Yeah.
So it comes back, it keeps repeating itself.
But harder. Yes. Because you're just not ready to accept what is in front of you.
It makes sense.
It really doesn't. And do you remember when we go back to the beginning of the conversation when I was saying, we've had the people that we've had around us for so many years, and as COVID has come along, all of a sudden they've been dropped off. They've, one by one. It's not because they've done anything wrong. It's just that you're finding that unless you were going out partying, unless you were picking out clothes, or that person rang you to say, "Did you see?"
Kind of superficial, isn't it?
Right? It was like, "Did you see Janet? And did you go on Janet's page? Because Janet, she's blah blah, lady, blah blah." And then you sit down and as I said, you cock up your foot and you cock 10, and you're like, "Oh, this works." Do you know what I'm saying? But because that, we can't jump up in anybody's house, because we can't go and say, as I said, we're not going to Westfield and we're not doing this and we're not doing that. All of a sudden, we're left to our own devices, which is social media, or people are then, you find that you then realize that they do have a mental health issue, but they're not sharing it with you, which is a shame, because you should be able to turn and say to your friend, "Boy, Jano, you know what? I'm really feeling low today, I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why I feel like this, and, and then your friend should be able to say, "Boy, V, talk the thing, man. If, what do you think is bothering you?" And if they feel that they're not equipped, if you feel that you're not equipped to handle what your friend is saying to you, at least point her in a direction or give her some word of encouragement and say, "Do you know what? Take your time. Take time.
Absolutely.
Sit down. Take time and work out what's really bothering you." I don't have the answers, but you should be able, son, to go to one of your friends and say, "Boy, I just feel so low. and I don't know where this dark cloud come from. Even to your children, because don't forget, right? Your children watches you. You're the learning mechanism.
Yeah.
You are the learning mechanism. And, and so sometimes we forget that when we're cussing our little BC and PC and FC and all kind of blood count levels.
Listen, the other day, my girl run downstairs. It must forget where in the earring. Ross.
Oh God, sorry, my laughter.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Mr. Colon, your cuss bad one. I don't know what you're talking about. No, that wasn't me. If it was white, it would have turned black.
You see, they forget. He forgot himself, He forgot.
She's a young adult, so I know that she cursed. But they won't do it in front of me. But the thing is, it tickled me. You see, like how you laugh, that's all. Listen, I don't stop bust up yet. It tickled me to actually hear it because I've not heard it from her mouth.
Right.
You understand what I mean? I know she does it.
Yeah.
But I've not heard it.
But you see, because you're now in the house cooped up together, you're owning your own bubble, you're now finding out things about each other, and you're looking at each other. There's probably things that you never realised that she did or said or wore, because you're always fleetingly going out the door. So, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so your kids are watching, what big, small, you name it, middle, you name it. They're looking at you and saying, boy, mummy's on a different tip right now. Why?
Yes.
What weird? Why? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or
listen, God bless her soul. Even when I was when I was up in age 35, whatever, my mum was still going on about wearing my hat and my coat and my gloves and my
bless
scarf
her.
and wearing my umbrella. Do you know what I mean? So you saying about don't matter what age? Absolutely, because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same way, because as far as I'm concerned, I just had them. You know what I mean? You lot can go and exercise your adulthood outside my door. And with me. Please don't get me wrong, but please don't disrespect me.
Hell
I
no.
can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I see it all the time around me. And I think because this world, the morals are a little bit lower than they were in my time, a lot of kids just talk to their people like them is them friend, or that them is above them parents.
Their station.
And I can't handle it. I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like when you walk up and down with your friend and you want to come in my house, number 32, with that fucking attitude, you best leave it outside, and if you can't, fucking go along out there with it.
Do you find, right, because you've got actual, I would say teenage adults, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're adults.
Yeah, they're adults. But do you find that, not your kids, because I know for a fact that you've got manageable children. Do you know what I'm saying? But while they were growing up, did you find that the kids of today don't do, hi, auntie this, and how you doing, Mrs. blah, blah, or Miss so-and-so? Is that, wagwan? And they're ready to spud you, like, we're on the same level. Brother, I'm 20 years older than you.
What I'm saying.
Put some respect on my name. Yeah, it's mad.
They call you by your name and not auntie this.
Not auntie this or Miss so-and-so. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. Being in the music industry, so when I sometimes do go to studios, right, that the guys in the studios, because obviously they either younger than me or they've known me for a while, and so they tend to say, yes, Miss Valerie, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't know if you're putting Miss Valerie because it's Miss on my Instagram, or or I'm Lady V. Yo, it's a title to call someone a lady. I don't think the name lady should be just issued out to anybody. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
That's very true.
I really don't, and that's just me saying that.
That's me as well.
Even though my nickname is Lady V amongst the old, back in the day, the old Jimmy Magic days, you know what I'm saying? It's always been Lady Valerie. But I lost that moniker, some people still do that when I sort of like, I call it like visiting Old Town. It isn't a town, but it's like visiting,
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
where you were once.
Right. And I love it. I see that name as nostalgia. But in this day and age, I can still mix it with the adults, the young adults of this world. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But when you're coming to me and you're already 38, 39 and, 40, you're not far from my frigging age.
I
Don't
was gonna
come
say
with your
you're
bull crap.
adult. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put some respect on my name, brother. You know?
Yeah.
Just put some... And even if you can't put the name on the respect, talk to me with the respect. Don't look
Yeah.
down at me that you don't know what my struggle is. My struggle may have been the same as your mother. So, put some respect on my name. So the same respect I'm going to give you, like, how are you today, John, or Dorothy, or whatever your blinking names are. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But, I've come across some of the young ladies this day, and even greeting them, they're looking you up and down like, who are you? Like,
I can't take it.
And
I think the women are worse.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the fucking women are worse.
They flick up the moth eyelashes, and then you can see the moth eyelashes, and then and the lips that look like they've just put their mouth in the bottle and sucked it so they can have the thick lips, and which mine don't. And you and I know we've got ours naturally. We don't have to plump anything in it, right? And they come and they look at you up and down, and they got their hair on fleck, which they've just bought the whole of Brazil, right? But little do they know that Brazil right now is going through the COVID, so they better not buy no more Brazilian ear, because the Brazilian ear might have a little COVID in it, right?
Banks, I think it was Banksy put up something on Facebook about that. I tell you, tears was coming out my eyes. When he was saying prime, sorry for them, all the Brazilian, somebody ever something.
Right?
Dying.
You've all got Brazilian hair. That Brazilian hair must have bringing the COVID. Don't take off the Brazilian hair off of your head, right? And let's just see where the hairline has receded. Let's just see where are you at, right? When you're all putting those shit on, excuse my French, in COVID, right? Where are you going apart from Instagram to become the latest Miss, what's that? Do you remember when Tyra Banks had that program? What's that Ross program? What the program name again? Next Top Model. Yo, they should call it Instagram Next Top Model. Right? And so when you walk into a space, I've been into the clubs and blah, blah, and I'm just keeping myself naturally the way that I dress. And they give you the look up and down. I'm like, yo, don't even, because I can give you a run from your money. Yeah? I could take off my wig. I could take off my weave. Because guess what? I have naturalness to go on underneath yasso. Right? But you got this Brazilian on for days and you're acting like it's yours. And then you have the cheek to have the audacity to look that. Don't let us at you. Put some respect on. As a matter of fact, let me put the respect on the eyelashes for you. Because you're taking the piss. You're taking the piss. So some of these young girls, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I know.
I've done it. Well, I've seen, I've done. I've walked and I've looked. When they give me the look, I stop. Because, back in the day, right? Yeah. Back in the day when we used to go out. But I don't know about you. I still kind of do it. And I remember my sister goes, Val, one day someone's going to turn and punch you in your mouth. I said, try me. Try me. I'm ready. Right? And she goes, nah. And even Diane used to say to me, the look sometimes you get. I said, Diane, I'm not actually looking at anybody. I said, my look is my look to protect myself because I know that I'm being watched. So this is my persona of, which is, leave me alone. This is my defense mechanism. But I've gone in where I've not even put up my shield. You go in, you can hear the shield going, pong, pong, and all of a sudden it's like, click. Yeah.
The DJs do it a lot,
Yo.
A vex thing, just, it's like to get an automatic
response.
Just loud kind of thing.
Listen, I don't even bother with them. Don't even start me on the DJs, right? But I've gone into, don't even start me on them little tegereg, little wild dot on the landscape DJs. Please don't. That's a whole different spirit to itself. That's a whole day to itself, right? I'm telling you. Di said to me, you walk into the rave and you're like, it's like it's like from the time we get out of the car and then we get to the front, it goes, your personality just changes. I said, really? She said, yeah. She goes, we will all be laughing in the car, and then you get to the front of the queue or whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm not saying it's a diva mode. She says it's all of a sudden the lips are out, the eyes are locked, and you're just, it's like, don't even.
Yeah.
And I said, really? No. She said, yeah. And I've gone into a party and I've seen them back in the day, and they look at me, and I said, I swear to God, what I do, I stand up. And the thing is, they don't expect you to do that. They think that you're just going to keep walking. Listen, I've gone into Royal Lounge enough times and I'm thinking girls are going to take off their shoes and clap me, right? And because I've walked in, minding my own damn business. I can't see from high heaven, right? I'm blind as a bat. So, with my eyes, I have light. I mean, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people like that. But, I do have an eye condition. I've got scleritis. So, again, a lot of people don't know that. So, I have scleritis. So, when I walk into certain places, light really affects especially my left eye. So, I'd walk in and I'd try to sort of like squint and, adapt. So it doesn't cause me that sharp pain. And I'd walk in and I could see them looking at me. You know what I do? When them looking me up and down, because some of them are blatant. I mean, blatant. They want me to know that they have such a distaste for me that they need.
What, do they know you?
Yeah, know me what? Know me what? Or some of them do know me, or they know of me. And so what they'll do is they'll do that look up and down. You know what I've done? As they've gone down, I'm meeting their eyes as they come up. I'm still standing because I'm not walking past now. I've looked up and then I've looked at them and I've gone, and now what? And one girl turned to me, one goes, what? I said, and now what? I said, I'd rather that you'd looked at me and said to me, boy, I like your shoes, and big me up as another queen next to you. But no. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know I love your outfit. You look bad. You look banging. And then I walked off and I think to myself, listen to me.
You actually done that?
Yeah. What? You don't know me, do you? You actually don't know me.
My girl,
you don't know me. You'd really listen. You don't know me. You don't know. As I said to you, I said to Diane, I've been trying to write this book. Diane said, I'm scared. I said, Diane, I'm not going to name any names in the book. It's pointless. I just think that what happens on tour stays on tour. And I'm talking about musically being on the road as an artist. And I'm talking about coming back from being on road after so many years and coming back into the circuit of, the raving and blah, 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 reacquainting with, meeting with you and making up with a lot of people I haven't seen for years.
It's totally different, isn't it?
It's so different.
I know.
But
when I see some of your stuff on Facebook, I think, fuck me, that's like a world away from what we do.
Right, but I'm hated for it.
Really?
Whoa, girl. It's like, when I'm telling you, some guy even said to me, they were talking to some girl, and he must have said, do you know Valerie? And the guy said, he said, if the look that she gave him and the things that came out of her mouth, he said he didn't know to look at her and think, is she just jealous, or did Valerie actually do the things that she's talking about?
Oh my
God.
God.
She said, she turned around and she said, he asked her, do you actually know her? And she said, yeah, but my friend. And he says, no. The question I'm asking is, do you actually know her? Do you speak to her? Have you ever been in her presence? And she said, no. I've seen her when she's out, and she thinks she's too nice. And he said, but did she actually say she's too nice? Is there anything that she has said that constitutes that she's telling you that she's too nice? You know what I'm saying? And he said she just couldn't answer. And then he said, so you know who she's going out with then? And the girl said, isn't she seen blah, blah, blah? And he said, no. And so he because he knew me, it was like he felt that he had to defend me. And
I'm glad that you did.
In a way, I just said, you should have just let her. I said, I don't believe preaching to the unconverted. My life is not there to convert anyone to like me. Because at the end of the day, what your opinion of me does not pay my phone bill. It doesn't pay my gas bill. It doesn't pay the money, the roof over my...
Though.
Oh, why do you think I drank?
I've had it. I've had it. You know what I mean? And I don't trouble nobody, you know. But because, do you know that because of your personality, because you laugh and talk with people and people like your energy and they're around you, you know, people fucking hate you for that.
Right.
And that's where I've had it. And I was listening to you just now, you know, when he's asking the girl question and she's like, she don't actually know you, but she knows somebody, what. I've had the exact same thing where a man come to me. I said to him, hey, what? That girl wants you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
She wants you.
I've had my friend sleep with my man. Yeah, listen, I've had my friend, knowing I'm seeing a guy, they know I'm seeing him, right? Fair enough, I've not put it full blazed onto social media. I've not, do you know what I mean? I've not done anything like that. But my good God, you know, you've heard and you know, you've seen us, you've seen him, you know, move towards me, blah, blah. It's not rocket science. Do you know what I mean? If there's a fire lit, there has to be something, a glimmer of, there has to be something behind it. Do you know what I mean? If it pitters out, then you know it was a whole load of tosh, right? But what I'm saying to you is, do you know what I mean? It's, how dare they? How dare you think that you can assume? But the girl knew that I was seeing him. And do you know, she did everything and then ended up sleeping with him. He came back and told me.
That's what it was about.
Yeah, and he came back and told me.
I said that to you because that was my experience. And look what you're telling me.
Yeah.
The same fucking thing.
Yeah.
A waxy man.
He came back and told me. He came back and told me. As a matter of fact, I knew before he even told me. It was, and how I knew is because I was speaking one day to him, and he just said, and it's a good thing because I still kept my distance, even though I'm seeing you. I'm still letting you talk. I'm still letting you date me per se. I'm not giving you my full 100 because I'm skeptical because I know you have a bit of a reputation, and. You know, and that's all through the whole haze of drinking, mind you. So I still corpus mentis, but, you know, I'm still making the most crappy decisions. And I'm thinking to myself, I've gone to such and such a country. You've seen me in another country. So while I'm away in this country, you've now contacted the guy. Like, you're acting like, yeah, and having conversation. Why would you be having a conversation about me to the guy? Do you know what I'm saying? God. The next thing I know, when I came back and we were just sitting down talking and I mentioned her name and he went, oh, leave her, man. She's all right. And I went, You've never defended. And it wasn't that I was talking bad about her. I was just saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, we were laughing and joking. And he went, oh, bless her, leave her. And I thought, that's not how you were relating about her. You know, I've never heard you even mention a name. You've never, you know, because I don't bring my friends into my business like that. So how is it that I'm, you know, speaking of something of good memory, you know, or something that's tickled me about my friend, and you're like, oh, and I was like, okay. Straight away, my alarm bells went off. I knew straight away. And I remember ringing Di, and I said to Diane, I think so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And she went, nah, that. I said, I swear down, I'm telling you, something has gone on here. And, you know, and she goes, you're so, she goes, it's not the first time you've been proving this. You're really, you sure you're not just being paranoid? You know, because I can get paranoid at the best of times. And I said, I'm not paranoid. I said, my gut tells me, and I'm sure. As God came and decided to give the world COVID, right? I swear down, and I don't, you know, sorry, I shouldn't even make a joke about that. But I'll use another analogy. As same way I can pull down my knickers to go toilet and come back, right? Within weeks, I went out and saw her etching up next to him. I was like, OMG. Right there and then. And she had the audacity to be looking at me like, I have just had a bit of cream. And in my head, I thought, no, you've just had a bit of spunk. You've just taken his spunk. You know what? It's a good thing I don't give Ed, so you must have just taken you. I know that's what he likes. So you definitely, that's what you've given him. Because he looks like the cat that's just got the cream, and you're the one who has made him let go of the cream. And just right there and then. Because, you know, certain men want certain things off a woman, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where you've been. I don't care if you've been in my shower. You're not getting. You're not my 100% man. So don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Let's not even contemplate
Yeah.
that right now. And that's why I have the title Leah D. Right?
Yeah.
So I saw, and I don't speak to her. To this day, I've never turned and said, I know, blah, blah. But she was there, and I dropped him, and would be 3 years on, this man is still trying. Right, he's gone out with other people. He's gone on with his life. I don't hear him. I don't hear anything from him. But when he's ready, and I met and our paths cross, maybe through WhatsApp or through just the most minute message or tagged in, he would then send me love hearts and, are you around? Oh, I haven't seen you. So the last message I sent him was, I'm not sure that you realise that we're in COVID, because. I said, my neighbour, actually, I'm never going to type the message just in case, it crossed my lips, you know what I'm saying? But I actually was, I had to remind him that we're in COVID. No, you're not coming to my house. And have you not got someone, or have you broken up with them? I am not your replacement. And I had to look at myself and say, that must be the body language I'm giving off, that is it okay because I'm telling someone I'm single, I'm not using it as an invitation for you to come. Come on now. Why do men do that?
Yeah. Because it's about them.
Why do you think that women, if you're telling someone you're single, that shouldn't constitute that you're looking for that man to come and see you?
Selling yourself to them.
I'm not available.
Yeah.
I choose not to be available. But the girl, and I went out, and after listen, if I cut you off, I'll cut you off. Did you not remember the conversation I had with you earlier, which was when you're peeling off the skin of the mackerel, right? I peeled the skin off the mackerel, and I just and I took a little bit, and I left the skin, and then I went back and I took a little bit. That's how I skin you off. I leave you to it, to the point that when I finish eating the flesh of the mackerel, you're left with the dead, nasty carcass, which you throw in the bin, and the stench. You get your earwick, ear freshener, and you spray the house.
Lord God.
And I don't need to tell people that that's how I drop you. Yeah? I'm not special. I'm nobody. But I don't need your tired, dry, cardboard energy.
Yeah. And you're not nobody. You're
like we're all somebody. We're all someone. But obviously, I don't know if she did that as a one-up because she thinks she could. I don't know if she did it because she didn't respect herself. Or but I stopped thinking after a while, because at first I felt it was such a damning thing that it made me feel bad about myself and, and question to what. No, it did, because I thought, well, if you like me and you want to be with me and you're telling me that, this would be our first wedding song, not that I'm going to marry you, but, some men say these things to make you feel that you're theirs. And I knew he was talking tripe, but... you let them play on. It hurts.
Yeah, you're human.
Right.
You know what I mean? It hurts. Why are you doing that? Why are you?
Because they think we're gullible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They think we're gullible. And I know that I knew that I wasn't gullible, but I let the game be played far too long.
That's wise. And that's your door.
I let the game play on to not. So in other words, where I think that I'm winning this game, I ended up being the loser. I end up, it's like I'm in this game with you. I know exactly what you're doing. I know that you've shagged out on me, blah, blah, blah. And then now I've banished you, but I'm still allowing you to still be part of my life. I'm still allowing you without the whole sexual connotation. Do you know what I mean? I'm still having you dangling and watching you carry on with your stupid antics. And in the end, I'm the one that got burnt. So I just thought, nah, don't need you. At the end of the day, you're going to need me. And true to form, that's what happens.
And that's what always happens.
It always happens. I've had people come back from as I said, from Whoopi Kill Junior. You know what I'm saying? From conception, and they've come back going, "You're the one that I lost," and I thought that was 6, 7, 10, 9 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't leave you. We just made a decision that it wasn't going to work, and we went our separate ways.
Yeah. But the growing up started, see.
But that's their growing up. I surpassed you. I surpassed you.
Oh, always. Remember, they're younger than us, even if they're older.
Right. Do you ever find that the older men, I'm sorry to say, have I ever dated an older man? Yeah, I've dated I dated an older man when I was younger, but as I've got older, I just find that I don't relate to men older than me.
Do you know what? I'm exactly the same. I mean, it's for me. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't good, you know, Sonia. But I like you. Yeah, when I was younger, all 10 years older.
Right.
Now, I couldn't tell you of anyone that I've dated that is older. They've all been younger.
Yeah, you know,
most of the time, they don't know my age.
Right. Right. I swear down. And I thought there's something wrong with it. And I thought no, it isn't. It's just that the older men's intellect doesn't invigorate me. There's the word, stimulate.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
It's like pulling dead weight. That's how I feel.
Oh my God. No, that is just so funny. I think when you say dead weight, when they start speaking, in my head a tune goes off and it's like, oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. And then I see him turn around and he goes, oh, darling, should we just line this blanket? And he pulls out his tartan blanket and pulls it along his leg and says, come on, darling, let's sit together. Get out of here. Right.
I get you, trust me.
It's like they're archaic.
It's coming like they ain't got no sense.
Right. And I'm like, yo, really? I said,
I can't take it.
do you see me? And and this is why I think that when older guys do approach me, I smile and I just say, yeah. And in my head, it's like, should I start the sentence for you? Because I know what you're going to say, you know. And they goes, oh, you know, I could do the young thing like you in my life. And I'm like, what did you just say? and then they will go, yeah, but when I look at your Facebook, you're always like, you know, you're so out there and you're just full of life. And in my head, I thought, oh, so now that you've hit like 45 or you're 50 or you're 55 or something, you're looking at some woman to give you, take Viagra. Brother, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I go out, I go garage, I go to Afrobeat, I go to Rare Groove. I go out to keep my exercise levels going. Mm-hmm. I don't go out because and not only that, because I can. I don't have no little children running around me.
Yeah, you're feeding your soul.
I'm feeding my soul, yeah. So, and for me, that rankles me. I'm not going to lie, I don't know why. You know, I've tried to ask myself, why does it rankle me when someone says, I'm a party girl? And you know, and I think, is it because I want people to take me seriously? And then I thought, I couldn't give a shit if you take me seriously or not. I know my journey. But it bothered me up until about 2 years ago.
I think that's what it is.
It did bother me because I know that I'm educated. I know that I've come from good stock. So I believe that we as human beings, what we put out is what people are going to relate to. And so I had to take that, I had to look at it and say, well, you know what, Val, you did kind of put that on social media. You did kind of, you know, show here you are at a festival skinning out. You know, you are...
Judging you by. That's what they're looking at.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So when... You know, even with the YouTube show that I'm putting on social media,
I don't know. I still think it's wrong to judge like that because Facebook is Facebook. You know, it's
That's why I don't take people for face value on Facebook at all.
Saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't.
You know, you don't know who people are.
No. No,
You
and
can't
so
judge a book by its cover.
you can't. But and sadly, if you lay the foundation that way, then that's how you will be treated.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so I have to take. I always say to people, always take 50. Always take responsibility for yourself. So if someone comes back and attacks you, son, it's either that 50% of it is because you allowed them to. It's something that you said that they've held on to. They've used it as a bypass, as a conversation for them to allow. Oh my God.